their chat, the web chart. What's interesting is now I can fucking, like, pull up the stream in, like, another tab for once. Oh my god. I can fucking do internet things for us. Holy shit. I am relatively surprised. Alright, so I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste this here in ours. I'm going to go through.
You might need to up the bit rate. Maybe.
Bit rate should be high.
Let me see. Oh god, no, stop. I guess it's fine.
And then the bit rate is good.
I think our audio is going live, or my audio maybe.
Your audio is going what? Live? Yeah, audio should be live in general. Speak. Okay.
No, I was just checking.
Yeah, everything's live. We're live on audio. Nothing to do with it right now.
Okay, well, let's start this.
Hold on, give me 2 segundos, please. I have to fucking paste here, and there we go. Oh, I did the double screen thing. Now I can switch back to this, and then I can go ahead and actually start the show. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Table Talk Thursday, episode 55. I'm your host, HyperBrother_1, with my co-host here, who should now pop up in... There we go. Welcome.
I'm over here somewhere, I guess. I don't know.
Welcome, Raining Death from the studio, live studio in
there we go.
Shitty City, Texas.
Yeah.
Not like the great place over here.
Big
D.
God, our chroma keys are just terrible. I'm looking at yours now, and like your headset's just like
phasing
out like mine.
Fully chroma keys now. I guess like whenever I did this, it changed the focus.
Yeah, like I'm seeing like your background is...
Oh no, it's getting worse. I need to stop. I'm
At least
fading,
mine's not that bad.
I'm fading into the black with my face.
There we go.
I'm trying to fix it with my hand. I keep changing the thing.
You may just need to redo your chroma key.
Nah. I'm fading into the machine. This is the Matrix, everybody.
I mean, I can just become a floating head.
I'm a floating head. I mean, if I wanted to, I could do that. I could just stop existing, just put the whole thing down on myself.
Yep.
Or I could go back to just being a chair. You know, I might. Is it more advantageous for me to just like use my chair instead? Let's see.
Like, I don't know why your chroma... Oh, because the green screen is behind your...
There we go.
Well, you kind of have a bit on your right side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now if
still caught up somewhere.
Yeah, if I re-chroma key, it'll probably look better. Let me do it temporarily. As I guess Kenneth there can start with the news.
Yeah, folks, just please excuse us. We're trying out new things because, again, we are in a different location now. Two separate locations.
The man behind the curtain. This is the screen as it is the green. It looks so weird.
It looks... Yeah, we need better lighting on both sides.
Oh, well, that made things really bad. Well then. Let's see if I can...
As you can see, we're trying a lot of things.
Turn down for what? Oh!
Oh!
Try the slightly lighter.
You might need to work with your Logitech settings to increase your saturation or white balance, etc. I know I had to do that.
No. Why would I have to do that? That would be good.
As you can see, like a long... we're just trying things. I'm going to go continue with the stories while he continues fiddling around with...
the sunlight. That looks way better. That turned down the contrast a little bit.
Yeah, turning down the contrast helps.
It makes me look like a real person. Look kind of red now, though. I mean, I'm very much.
I mean, you look red. I'm freaking white and orange.
No, I know, but I just don't look shiny anymore. Like with this, I'm just
I don't
like,
want to look shiny.
like,
This
see,
is bad.
there we go. A little darker. And there we go. I still need to
Maybe
find the correct
maybe I'll get one of those like light rings.
What? Oh, the fucking like, yeah, the let's see. What if I try to move these things up? Like this.
Kind of shadows you.
Yes, it definitely will shadow me. Oh god, I don't even know how to get in here anymore.
What you're gonna want to do is probably increase the saturation, so that way the colors pop. So that way the green stands out more.
I can't saturate myself. How does one saturate?
It should be in your Logitech video settings.
It's hot, hot, hot.
I was just about to say that. How green is it? Super green. Oh, it's gonna be. Anyways, so let me open up some tabs for things. Can I full screen this?
Oh, that's pretty good. There we go. I fixed it. Look at that. And now I'm in my chair. This is perfect. This works way better.
Yeah.
So there we go.
I mean, do you want me to change my background so you can chroma key me in as just a floating head, or do you want to keep it like that?
No, you're good.
Okay.
I mean, like, well, I don't know what else I was gonna do with you. I was just gonna have you up there whenever you talk. Just like, and boom, we have Kenneth, and then I could turn myself off. Just like,
Yeah, just leave us both up.
yeah. How about I will have this have us both up when we're talking, and then I'll make a new scene where it's just you.
Sure, I guess. Whatever.
Duplicates. Table Talk 2-2. Sure. And then I'm gonna fucking go to studio mode and edit this while you talk.
Okay, so again, folks, apologies for the technical difficulties. We're working out things, as you can see.
Yes.
But I will begin with the news. We will have a full show ahead of us, because that's what I planned for, and that's what I intend to do. Yep. So, starting us off with world news. Geologists say North Korea's nuclear test site has likely collapsed.
And there we go.
Yep. So, research by Chinese geologists suggests that... Oh, that is strange. I'm seeing myself like 3 times. Suggests that the mountain above North Korea's main nuclear test site has likely collapsed. Nice. Rendering it unsafe for further testing and requiring that it be monitored for any leaking radiation.
Maybe that's why they want to do nuclear.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
I was trying to figure out why, so now we know the true answer.
Mm-hmm. Because the Chinese, they took satellite pictures of the area, and above the area, like it's a green, dense, mountainous region, and like right where the test site is, it's
now a giant hole.
Well, actually, you can see there's like massive fissures, kind of thing, and like exposed earth. So basically, it collapsed in.
Cool.
Really trying to use my hands more. I don't like just being a talking head.
Yeah, you should totally
do that. Anyways, so the findings by the scientists at the University of Science and Technology of China may shed new light on North Korean President Kim Jong-un's announcement that his country was ceasing its testing program ahead of planned summit meetings with South Korea President Moon Jae-in and U.S. President Donald Trump. The data in the latest Chinese study was collected following the most powerful of North Korea's 6 nuclear device tests on September 3rd, which it is believed to have triggered 4 earthquakes over the following weeks. It was, like I said, it was the largest. It was, I believe, 100 kilotons, which is the equivalent to 100, tons of TNT. It was also, so to put it in perspective, the bomb we dropped in Hiroshima was 15 kilotons.
Hey, the trash people got my trash.
Okay, well, that's good.
It's so cool.
Anyways, so the Chinese study makes sense and is based on well-understood research, said Rowena Lohman, a seismologist at Cornell University who wasn't part of the work. She said she believes there is an international effort that monitors these tests for radiation. And it says here, so on Saturday, North Korea announced it will close its nuclear testing facility and suspend nuclear and intercontinental ballistic missile tests, a move welcomed by Trump as big progress, and which comes ahead of a planned summit. However, the North has
best progress.
It's bigly news.
It's bigly news. I gotta do something. It'll be huge.
However, the North has stopped short of suggesting it will give up its nuclear weapons or scale back its production of missiles and the related components. So this is good news that they've fucked up so badly that their nuclear testing site is destroyed. An American bomb didn't even have to do it. They did it all themselves. But without any assurances that they're giving up their nuclear weapons, it's still a nuclear state. So this is only minimal progress.
Minimal.
I mean, it's good news, but it's not great news.
It's good news, but it's not great. Interesting. All right, we'll look at it.
Yeah. Anyways, moving on to our next story.
Alright. Save this. Boom. There we go. Back. Thank you for passing it off to me for the next story. As I try to do this number here, and then we're just gonna live edit here because I can. Hashtag because I can do things. I guess it automatically switched. This is where we are. Switched. Alright then. Goodbye, Kenneth, as I take over the show here. And now he's gone. He's dead. I'm going to go ahead and enhance myself. Signature enhancing. So there we go. Alrighty, everybody.
Just keep us both on the main scene.
I mean, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. Sure. Anyway, so I have to look sideways because my fucking light settings fuck up on the AC center monitor. So I'm gonna read off of this screen. Asaram Batu, Indian guru sentenced to life for raping girl. Well done. A self-styled Indian spiritual guru who claims millions of followers worldwide has been given a life sentence for raping a 16-year-old girl.
Yeah, this is really huge news for the area, and it's causing quite a large amount of outrage on both sides. Remember,
everybody, rape is bad, okay? Anyway, Asaram Bapu was convicted of the 2013 attack on the girl, a devotee at his ashram in Jodhpur, I'm guessing, by a court in the city's jail. He's expected to appeal. The guru, who is 77, beyond cradle robbing, that bitch is grave robbing. He's, fucking, egg robbing. I don't know. Jeez. Has 400 ashrams around the world where he teaches meditation and yoga. He's also on trial for another rape case in western Gujarat state. Jodhpur is on high alert because of concerns there could be violence from the guru's supporters. Interesting. Security measures come after followers of another guru, Gurmeet Ram Rahim, ran amok after he was found guilty of rape last year. The resulting violence killed 23 people. Fuck's sake. Police say...
Yeah, I mean, these people are crazy. I mean...
No shit.
There's been stories that have come out of, Muslims, or just people in general who are accused of buying beef. I feel like the fucking aliens guy when I do this with my hands.
Because you are. You're definitely aliens.
I don't have the hair for it. Aliens. Or you dense motherfucker. Both work.
You have to put a tilt and tilt. Just fucking look angry.
But anyways, as I was saying, Indians have straight up murdered people in the streets if they have been accused of buying beef. Because they are so radical in their belief that cows are sacred that they kill to defend it.
Yeah.
You don't even have to have bought it. You just have to be accused of it.
Is that Hinduism?
Yes.
It does that? Yeah, it's Hindi or whatever. There you go. So, yeah.
I mean, radicals of all stripes.
Yes. Like zebras, except worse. So yeah. Police say the couple who had sent the girl to one of his ashrams for spiritual lessons were summoned to see her as she was under the influence of supernatural ghostly powers.
Ooh.
The family reached the Jodhpur ashram on the 14th of August. The following night, Asaram called the victim to his room on the pretext of curing her. Curing her with that dick! Literally. He then raped the victim while her parents waited outside chanting his prayers, police say. He's like, I'm gonna fuck you while your parents listen. Damn.
Well,
that's brutal.
I don't imagine the parents were like right outside. They're probably nearby.
Said outside, man. You know, maybe all they thought was that she was getting fucking the spiritual ghostly power out of her, like exorcism level screaming. That's probably what they thought. The more you know. Anyway, police say the group forced the victim to perform sexual acts on him and threatened to murder her family if she spoke about the incident. Damn. Asaram is also accused of raping another woman in Surat city in Gujarat between 2002 and 2004. The trial in this case is underway. At least 9 witnesses in both cases have been attacked over the past 5 years. 3 of them have since died. Ooh.
These people are crazy.
Hey, my people, like, go fucking kill those guys.
Pretty much. And the good thing was that this girl reported it to her parents the day after it happened. So it's really good that she felt empowered and safe enough to actually bring this forward, and that the police are actually doing something about it. Because for the longest time, India has had a bad reputation with rape and actually prosecuting. So it's good that things are changing.
It's good. It's always very, very good. With the not really, oh no, I wiggled my fucking screens. What have I done?
Oh god, everything's changed.
Yes.
Anyways, on to an update to a story we covered about a couple months ago about Peter Madsen, the famed Danish inventor who built one of the world's first consumer built submarines.
Are now a part of the net back there. Although, wait, hold on. I'm trying to figure out where I'm supposed to put this view. That way. Yes, I figured it out.
That way.
I'm just like, where do I go here? The crazy guy who tried to kill the reporter by seeking his fucking.
Who did kill the reporter?
Oh yeah, who killed the reporter and then threw her body parts.
Yep, he dismembered her as well. So he's been sentenced to life for murdering journalist Kim Wall. It's very good news. I mean, it's tragic what happened, but it's good that he's been prosecuted.
Yeah, no, it's good that justice was served.
Quite. So the Danish inventor has been sentenced to life in prison for the premeditated murder and sexual assault of the Swedish journalist Kim Wall on a submarine in August last year. The judge, Annette Burko, and 2 jurors found Peter Madsen, 47, guilty of all 3 of the
You
main
are not
charges.
excused! Objection!
Overruled!
No. That's not how this works. You know what's overruled? You're overruled!
This whole court's out of order!
You know what's out of order? Get out of here. All that exists. Yeah.
Anyways, where was I? Yes, he was found guilty of all 3 main charges, including premeditated murder, aggravated sexual assault, and desecrating a corpse. This is a quote from the judge here.
So he performed the fucking necrophilia.
No, he raped her before he killed her.
They said to violence. Oh, I guess
From chopping it out.
Yeah. Damn.
This is a cynical, and this is a quote from the judge, this is a cynical and pre-planned sexual assault of a particularly brutal nature on a random woman who, in connection with her journalistic work, accepted an invitation for a sailing trip on the accused submarine.
The accursed submarine. Okay, what is this?
Explaining the rare decision to hand down Denmark's most severe sentence. Wall was 30 when she died. The journalists had reported from all over the world for Time magazine, the New York Times, and the Guardian, among others. Wow, very impressive.
Yes.
Her boyfriend told the court she was incredibly ambitious and amazingly curious. It sounds like it.
Mm-hmm.
Burko said his versions of events that Wall died when Burko said his versions of events that Wall died when an accident filled the vessel with toxic exhaust fumes was not credible and not consistent with the following decision to dismember the body.
Wait,
Madsen
filled it with toxic fumes.
So Madsen said that Wall died when the vessel filled with toxic exhaust fumes.
That's
The judge, well, he's lying, of course. Lying.
Oh, yeah.
The judge says that was not credible and not consistent with the following decision to dismember the body. Madsen had changed his explanation for Wall's death several times, Burko noted. And here's a description of the things he said. So when he was arrested in August, Madsen initially claimed to have dropped Wall off on land, but he almost immediately admitted that she had died on board and that he had then buried her at sea. At first, he said her skull had been crushed by a heavy latch, but after the discovery of Wall's head, he said she had been asphyxiated, claiming to have come up with his first story to spare Wall's parents. During the trial, the court heard from a woman who Madsen had confessed that he was a psychopath, but a loving one. Strange kind of thing to say. A judge.
I'm looking ahead at the news stories, and just like I got to the first story in Tech News, and I'm like,
yeah, I'll get to that. That's an interesting one there. So the judge backed up the former psychiatric report that described Madsen as a perverse polymorph with psychopathic traits.
Yes.
So interestingly enough, even when given life sentences, the average time of getting out on parole is 16 years. Because this is a nation that actually believes in rehabilitation even for those who commit capital offenses.
America's life is 40 years, so...
Yeah, 40 years before the possibility of parole.
Well, that's life without parole. You can still get parole with life without parole. I think it's still possible. Parole is like you spend about half your time there, and then like you can get out, on parole, or like even better if you have good behavior, you suck the right dicks kind of deal.
Yeah, I doubt Madsen will ever be getting out.
I don't know. It's one of those countries where they actually treat their people right, and they might actually where they actually rehabilitate people and all sorts of shit.
I suppose so. I suppose it's possible, but looking at like Sweden, they have Anders Breivik in there. He's given life sentence, which for them is like 40 years or 50 years or something. So I imagine he'll serve the full term.
Probably. I don't know.
Anyways,
weird other countries' systems are weird. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try to switch over to the video playing parts here. I'm going to go ahead and go to studio mode, though, to make sure that that's Kenneth. That's not this. That's what is that? You aren't the correct thing. You are wrong. You are right. Alright, cool. So we're going to switch over there. And I'm just going to skip ahead to the China thing. I'm just kind of skipping around because I want to get this done quicker since I have to sleep early. That's okay with you. So I'm going to cover this, I'm going to cover Toronto, and then we go to US. Okay, cool.
Leo Hu recently tried to book a flight.
Well, I cut down the Spanish Wolfpack story.
Did you?
Yeah, that's cut down. It was a bit more.
Yeah.
Banned from flying because he's on the list of untrustworthy people. Leo was a journalist who was ordered by a court to apologize for a series of tweets he wrote and was then told his apology was insincere. I can't buy property. My child can't go to private school, he says. You feel you're being controlled by the list all the time. And the list is
The
now getting
list.
longer, as every Chinese citizen is being assigned a social credit score, a fluctuating
it's
rating
crazy.
based on a range of behaviors.
Yeah.
They have some of the highest cameras per person in the country. I like to say a bit more about this. They're gamifying citizenship, and it is very like 1984.
Yeah, this is what America will turn into. Promise.
No, I
It's
don't think
believed
America
that
will go
community
this far. I mean,
service and
we're
buying
kind of doing
Chinese-made
this because we
products
actually have
can
credit
raise your
scores.
score. Fraud,
But I mean,
tax
that's for
evasion, and
payment
smoking in
history.
non-smoking areas can drop.
Yeah, but the fact that like you can be denied housing, you can be denied a job by your credit score is fucking retarded to me. Like,
Yeah.
it's a bit ridiculous that that one thing that you neglected to pay, or for instance, like my coworker said. So he ended up doing the thing we were talking back and forth. He had like 3 credit cards. He bought a house, and then he wasn't using any of his cards. So he closed all of his accounts. Well, he somehow
That was
crashed
the bad.
He somehow crashed his score from like 800 or 700 or something really high to 20 or something like below something.
Yeah,
super low.
because he closed all the cards, so that ended his
he
average
closed his,
age.
Yeah, he closed all of his long-standing accounts.
That's the dumbest thing you could possibly do.
I'm about to do that because
There's
I don't
no
want to pay my
question that's the
fucking
dumbest thing.
shitty fucking student loans anymore. So that's what I'm about to fucking do. Like, my student loans can suck a dick.
China's growing
Yeah,
network
I'd
of
rather-
credit
surveillance.
cards,
I'd rather
if you
just
don't use them,
Kill it.
you should
so.
well, for you it's different. But I mean, if you have credit cards and you don't use them, big whoop, just keep them open. It doesn't really matter.
Well, if you're like Amazon and like I don't use you enough, then you'll get closed anyway by the company. Fucking Amazon closing my goddamn card that had the highest limit I had. Those bastards. I used it too when I had money. They're like, I just stopped spending for like 2 months, and they're like, you close your account. I was like, what the fuck?
Surveillance
They
Maybe you
didn't
should
warn
actually get
me
like
or
a
anything.
proper Amazon, like actual credit card.
The rewards cards or the store card. Yeah, but the
Yeah,
store
well,
card
no.
worked better.
Well, no, there's an Amazon Visa card that you still get the 5%.
That's the
Amazon
rewards
purchases.
card.
No. There's a Visa credit card that does the 5%.
I'm pretty
I know.
sure that's the Amazon rewards
Nope,
card.
nope.
The
You're
Amazon
talking-
rewards card is that. The Amazon store card, which is what I had, is a card that you can't use on anything else. It's literally just for Amazon, but it gets you 0% interest for X months, depending on how much money you spend. The other thing that they offer is, again, the 5% back on Amazon for anything. You can use it on gas, you can use it anywhere, or whatever the fuck. And then you get, like, extra percent back or whatever. You buy shit on Amazon. That's the deal there. Anyway, carrying on.
makes all of this possible.
It can recognize more than 4,000 vehicles.
Xu Li is the CEO of SenseTime, one of China's most successful artificial intelligence companies. It has created smart cameras for the government that can help catch criminals, but also track average citizens.
You can tell whether it is an adult, a child,
I mean, that's
a male or female.
Ken
Deus
Dwoskin
Ex.
has studied China's economic and
Tracking
political
everything,
culture
everything.
for more than 3 decades. He says how
That
the new
baby
scoring
just
system truly
fucking
works
threw
is
his
kept
bottle.
secret
He
and could
lose
be
credit
easily
score.
abused by the
Pretty
government.
much.
How far into people's daily mundane activities does this go?
Well, I think that the government and the people running the plan would like it to go as deeply as possible to determine how to allocate benefits and also how to impact and shape their behavior.
The fear, of course, is that the government may use this social credit scoring system to punish people that it deems not sufficiently loyal to the Communist Party. And trying to clear your name or fight your score is nearly impossible because there is no due process. Ben Tracy, CBS News, Beijing.
Yep. It's a dystopian nightmare in China.
It's China. What do you expect?
I suppose that's true. But I mean, it's a very disturbing thing to see. Because, as you said, there's no way to dispute your score. I mean, the fact that you have a score in the first place is a problem.
I mean,
Yeah.
you can dispute your credit scores, kind of.
Yeah, you can.
Some of the scoring systems are bullshit, like the whole, like what, but kind of, I agree with him on the whole, yeah, you close out your accounts, but the fact that you don't, you're not in debt, or the fact that you don't, you're not That's the thing, is you technically have to be in some sort of cycle of debt, or they have to see that you were in debt, whenever your card had when your card submitted the statement. In theory, you owed that
Not
card
really.
company that money. Well,
No, because I mean, like how
it isn't not really. You owed them the money.
I mean, like with how my credit score, seems to work. As I pay off my cards at the end of the month, every month, I carry no balance ever. But it records that I paid off my cards. I don't have to wait for the next statement or anything. It updates fairly rapidly. I mean, within like a week or a week and a half, 2 weeks. When I pay it off, because I always pay it off, it shows that.
Mine, I have to wait for the statement to generate, and the statement shows how much I had spent.
I don't know if you do need to.
That's what I've been told.
Because like I said,
that's what shows up on credit.
Like I said, I've had credit cards for years now, and I can tell you that's how it works for me.
And I can tell you this is how it works for me, because I've seen it. I continue to watch it, monitor it, and Capital One gives me the monthly statement. That monthly statement goes to Credit Karma. That's what they see. And then, just so it generates a statement, though, I could still pay it off without incurring any interest or anything. So, like, you go into the end of the month, and then what I have is auto pay set up, so when my bill cycles, so I get the statement and then I get a bill a little bit later. The bill automatically cycles, and I have it set past the minimum, which is like $5, the minimum's $30, and so I don't spend anything over $30 on it, and so I don't need to spend it. It automatically pays itself off. I don't really give a shit. Bada bing, bada boom. And it just exists. I do have to sometimes, I forget that I have it and I buy stuff on it sometimes. That's a problem, really.
Just buy fuel with it.
Well, I can't buy fuel now. I just filled up my goddamn gas tank, yesterday, last night, like I told you. Mm-hmm. And I really needed it. My car was on, E, and a little yellow light popped on. But, 15 gallons is $40.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit. And see, I didn't even buy my expensive gas station. I just put regular in there. I was like, alright. It's to the point where it's too expensive for me to give a shit about my car anymore. It's like, I don't want to pay the extra 50 cents per gallon for this shit anymore. Yeah.
Anyway, so you're going to cover Toronto?
Yes. A man accused of using a rented van to plow into a busy Toronto sidewalk has been charged with 10 counts of first-degree murder and 13 counts of attempted murder, as Canadian authorities attempted to make sense of what is thought to be one of the deadliest incidents of violence in the country's history. Well, I'll tell you what happened. Copycats, terrorism, and also he was probably saying sorry as he hit every one of them. Sorry, oh, sorry. That was deadly. But, yes. Alec Minasian, 25, from Richmond Hill, near Toronto, showed little emotion during a brief court appearance on Tuesday. His father, Vahi Minasian, sat in the first row of the courtroom, wiping away tears as the charges were read out. Asked outside if he had any messages for the families of victims, he said quietly, "I'm sorry." Canadian authorities have yet to suggest any possible motivation for the attack. On Tuesday, police said the suspect was alleged to have posted a cryptic message on Facebook minutes before the attack took place. The now deleted post praised Elliot Rodger, a 22-year-old man who killed 6 people and wounded 13 others in California in 2014. What happened there? An online post that raged at women for rejecting his romantic advances.
With the Elliot Rodgers thing?
Yeah, go. Rodger had described himself as an incel, someone who is involuntarily celibate. I know the feeling! Yeah.
So, Elliot Rodger was a nice guy, as people like to call them. Basically, he thought that women owed him a relationship or sex or something because he felt they were always passing him by. He's like, "Oh, I'm a nice guy. Women should be, dating me and having sex with me because I'm such a nice guy." He's one of those. And basically,
that happens to me, and then I just nut up, and then I usually get things done. I don't know. It's not that hard.
Yeah, but he was.
Look at this face. I don't even look good. Anyway,
truth.
I don't know. The ladies would tell me things.
Anyways, what I'm just saying, you're different than how he was, because he was one of those. He was, a person who's like, "I'm such a nice guy. Women should be dating me." and fuck them for not dating me, kind of thing.
I'm more like, I can be nice. I'm a pretty terrible human being. But more like, fuck women for not even talking to me. Fuck them for adding me, and then like saying a couple sentences to me, and then just ghosting and never talking to me again. That
You sure they're
shit
not
bothers
bots?
me. No, well, there are bots too. I know what's usually a bot, what's not. But I'm talking about real people from like the shitty city. You know, like I would actually knew them. Then have me talk to me, and then they would just never speak to me again. And then like one day they're like, my computer doesn't work. You do computer things. I'm like, no, be gone, fuck. Fucking like seriously. And then I'm like, all right, that'll be $20. And just like, we're such good friends. Can't you do it for free, bitch? Listen, scroll up for me 2 seconds. When's the last time you sent me a fucking message? 20 goddamn 12. What the fuck do you expect from me? Cause you're not getting it here. I'm like,
It's
you
like,
either pay me
that's
or
when you
get the fuck
respond
out
with,
of here.
here's my hourly rates, pay.
Yeah, no, it's you can either pay me in money, drugs, or sex. I don't care which. You could pay me in any of the three, and I'll fix your fucking computer. I can care less. I just need to get paid somehow. Is it below me?
And that's when you get entrapped for buying sex.
No. It's called age.
No, because you specifically put it in terms of
Barter.
paying for services.
It's trade. It's, you give me something and I give you my trade skill in return. If your trade skill just happens to be sucking dick, then go for it. You know? No, anyway.
Anyways,
Carry on.
so basically that was Elliot Rogers. He got very fed up that nobody was dating him, so then he went out and attacked. I don't remember the exact location, but as you can see.
California.
No, I mean, I know, but it was this particular place in California. I'd have to check that. Basically, as you can see, he killed 6 and wounded 13.
Yeah. So, it goes on to say, calling Roger the Supreme Gentleman, the social media post linked to Menacing said, the incel rebellion has already begun. We will overthrow all the Chads and Stacies. The post also included a reference to the message Ward 4 channel.
So basically, for those
Lane,
who don't,
it's your people.
Lane's in VR right now.
I don't know. It said Lane was watching earlier.
Well, I just saw Lane start up Skyrim VR.
You could be listening to what I was saying. So I'm post that
Could be.
fucking
So basically, Chads and Stacies are your everyday attractive people who aren't having sex with these people.
Yes.
For those who don't know, I just wanted to clarify.
Well, also there's the whole chat in the whole chat with people who will never be, they will the versions of the world which will always be.
Sure.
Anyway, while the victims were predominantly females, ranging in age from mid-20s to 80s. Wow, he ran over an old-ass grandma. She didn't fuck me! Thank you for being such a good gentleman! Anyway, was no indication that the suspect had deliberately targeted women in the attack, said Graham Gibson of the Toronto Police. The horrific and deliberate attack has left Toronto in mourning. The city's mayor, John Tory, said on Tuesday it took place around lunchtime on Monday as crowds were out basking in the sun of one of the first warm days of the year.
Basically, the perfect time for people to be out and about and enjoying their day.
Yep. As this quote says from this person, people started flying in the air. Henry Yang, who was driving behind the van as the incident unfolded, told the Toronto Star. I started honking my horn, making noises, trying to make commotion, trying to make people aware that something is going on. I rolled down my windows and started yelling at people. I wanted them to get out of the way. The van crashed through crowds, fire hydrants, and a bus shelter. It was like he was playing a video game, trying to kill as many people as possible. Yeah, you know, always make those jokes. Fucking 10,000 points. You get all those people. Haha. One day. Anyway, Hannah Patel told the Associated Press he was looking at people directly in the eye, making eye contact. It was so scary. The attack killed 10 people, injured 14 other. Much of the 2-kilometer stretch of city blocks where the incident unfolded remained closed to traffic on Tuesday. The area is expected to stay cordoned off for several days as some officers comb the area looking for clues in what is expected to be a lengthy investigation. I mean, what is there really to investigate? The man went nuts though and started trying to run people over. I mean, what else are you trying to find there?
I mean,
guess,
yeah, it is pretty self-explanatory.
I guess Canadia's like, nobody kills people here. They just like can't wrap their minds around it.
I mean, I'm sure they're just collecting evidence and,
No.
investigation. They're trying to figure out, source of it, if they left any documentation, notes, all that jazz.
Oh, yeah.
That's what they mean by investigation.
That's
Yeah, but they want to, things like this. They want to make sure they catch and, find out what the hell prompted this.
yeah. But anyway, on
to
the US.
America, the greatest country in the world.
Fuck yeah.
Yep. So, thousands of teachers in Arizona and Colorado to protest. So, for the folks who haven't seen the picture, and we don't actually have the picture, but I just saw it recently. A sea of teachers clad in red shirts flowed toward the Arizona Capitol on Thursday.
You're wearing a red shirt? I'm wearing a red shirt. Hey!
Hey, we're supporting the teachers.
Hey, yeah. I had to work with these people in Texas.
I still work with these people
Yeah.
in Texas. Anyways, for an unprecedented walkout that closed most of the state's public schools, part of an educator uprising that has bubbled up in other parts of the nation and spread west. So this ties itself in with the protest in Oklahoma, in Ohio, in Illinois, in, now Colorado and Arizona. So I think California also had some protests. Basically,
everyone's like, we could protest for more money.
I mean, this is becoming a nationwide thing, and this is actually really good to see.
Well,
Teachers.
it would help if, like, Trump and most of the presidents wouldn't continue to cut the fucking education budget. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well, they need the money for the military, man. Military has to get paid.
I mean,
robbing Peter to pay Paul.
They could still get paid if they just, lessen some of the other things. We went over the money.
Whoa, man. We can't cut the military budget. What are you, a dirty communist? You're wearing red.
Actually, yes. I have joined the communist.
I always knew. I'll call McCarthy.
Yeah.
Anyways, so waving signs and red balloons, tens of thousands of teachers.
99 Okay.
99 red balloons.
I had to.
Yeah, it's hard not to.
Yeah.
Tens of thousands of teachers and their supporters headed through downtown Phoenix for a rally at the state capitol to demand a 20% raise for teachers, about $1 billion to return school funding to pre-Great Recession levels, and increased pay for support staff, among other things. 20%. What happened to? What are you doing? Right. I just look up and I'm like, oh well.
I did a thing. I was trying to check the chat. The chat wasn't open anywhere, and then I Windows snap, and then it fucking snapped here.
Oh snap.
And
anyways, the walkout. The teachers also want more resources in the classroom, and have received offers for either increased funding or raises. But teachers say the efforts aren't enough, with Arizona educators launching the first ever statewide strike to press lawmakers to meet their demands.
didn't fucking Oklahoma have a statewide strike?
Yes. So did Illinois and Ohio.
So I'm guessing it's the first one that's statewide for Arizona, I guess is what they're trying to do.
Yeah, I would assume so, yes. So the walkouts in the two states are the climax of an uprising that spread from West Virginia, Oklahoma, and Kentucky. The grassroots movement known as Red for Ed began weeks ago with protests in Arizona, and Colorado teachers later took up the fight. Lawmakers have agreed to give the schools their largest budget increase since the Great Recession, but teachers say Colorado has a long way to go to recovering lost ground because of strict tax and spending limits. Why doesn't Colorado take all that weed money and put it towards education? Because
but all of the white people will be angry that their child's futures are being paid for by drug money. I don't know. That's maybe the thing.
Anyways, so in Arizona, Republican Governor Doug Ducey has offered teachers a 20% raise by 2020, which is actually not too terrible. I mean, sure, it's 2 years out, but hey,
Yeah,
that's
but
a 20%
fucking,
raise.
that's better than the tax or anybody else in government's doing for anybody. Shit,
Yeah.
2 years. All of our current government plans are like by 2030 or 20 fucking way far out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Guys, what? Oh, you know what? I just realized we're still streaming to the BattleTech game category. That might be. This is a talk show. It's fine. Nobody has to know that we were totally doing things wrong here. Dolomite, Star, Telegram.com, News, Politics, Domestic, Politics, article. Some dude just linked an article.
Apparently that Texas teacher.
Is it teachers in other states are striking? Here's why Texas teachers aren't. Haha! Obviously this guy's a Texan. Is this the thing where it talks about, strike or engaging in organized work stoppage against the state or political subdivision of the state will lose all of their civil service rights.
I have something to say about that. It's illegal in Arizona as well, as I'll cover in the next story.
Oh, you're gonna roll with me on that story? Okay, I wasn't good, but you're good.
Yeah, it's a two-part story.
Okay, I was wondering about that.
Yep. So the leader of the state's largest teachers membership group told Phoenix television station KTVK that Ducey's unwillingness to meet with organizers makes him believe that they will be out for a while. Which, that's a dick move for the governor to say that. Look, just tell them to get the raises and their funding, or don't. But at least meet with the damn people so you can be like, I met with the teachers, we talked about this, we're taking care of it to address it.
Yeah, the Dolomite is pension teachers certificate and ability to be reaction. Yeah, I knew the certificate thing, like, I think that's why issues.
But rolling to the next story, this talks about, more specifically, Arizona's State Superintendent of Public Instruction, Diane Douglas, urging teachers not to walk out, threatening they might face consequences. So in similar relation to Texas law, Arizona has something very similar. So she says here, a walkout is a nice term for it, but it's a strike, plain and simple. And in Arizona, it's not legal for teachers to strike. Fuck you. Doesn't matter whether it's legal or not. They're going to do what they're going to do. What the fuck are you going to do? Fire them all? Try. Douglas suggested the State Department of Education will investigate teachers who walk out and could refer teachers to the State Board of Education, which could give teachers a letter of censure, or strip them of their teaching certificate. If a parent or citizen file a complaint with the department, we have investigation units. And I've assured the board this morning that we will, investigate anything that comes. So the Republican operatives and state lawmakers have hit similar themes while stoking backlash to the strike. They claim that the Arizona Educators United vote was rigged process. They argue that all the fucking votes are rigged. And argue that the teacher strike is a ploy led by the Democratic political operatives to damage Ducey in an election year.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Well, they'll say whatever they need to say to make it look bad for the teachers. Regardless whether it's true or not, that's what they do.
I know, but like, that's beyond asinine.
It's Republicans. It doesn't matter whether it's true. It matters whether they can get the voters to think that.
And anything else to say this.
Yep. If it doesn't come from a Republican's mouth, it's fake news.
Basically.
We're fake news, goddammit.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I'm in Republican territory. So.
Dallas is actually conservative.
Yes, it is ultra conservative. I mean, remember all the Jesus signs right on I-45 coming into town?
No, I suppose that's true.
All the Jesus signs in the shittiest looking towns. Glorious. Hey now, that is the American way, Republican or not. That's the American way to fuck people over. That might be true.
Yeah,
that's
probably.
The American way. I don't know.
Anyways, so on to Ford.
Yes, Ford's dropping all but 2 cars in the North American dealerships. And let me
This is kind of crazy, though.
It is a little bit crazy. There we go.
And this video's for low res.
There's no sound in there.
No, there's sound.
Okay, well here it is.
I mean, I'm hearing sound from the video.
I don't hear shit. It's not coming through my headset. Rest in pepperonis. Oh, dude, the fusions are actually really good parts. The Fiesta, meh. Fusion.
Yeah, I know, they're cutting the Fiesta, the Taurus, the Fusion, and the regular Ford Focus. The thing is, the Taurus is a nice car. It's like their mid-tier car for sedan.
This is the Taurus. But their Fusions are fucking solid sedans. And then you got your shitty Focuses, and then the Fiesta, which is the Focus but smaller. I mean, I can do shit up. The Focus S3 is like tricky, which is fun.
Yeah.
And a new Focus. Okay, so I guess a certain section of Focuses.
But only keeping the Mustang and the new Focus.
So
God, that's pretty crazy that they're cutting everything from their lineup.
That they're cutting everything.
At least on the sedan and car side.
Yeah.
The thing is, Americans are going crazy this past, decade, buying all the fucking trucks and SUVs they could possibly...
Oh, hey, look, it's the trade cars.
Yep. And the Chrysler Fiat's getting cut.
Well, Chevy Cruze can get fucking cut from such trash cars. And the fucking Fiat.
I know, Lane, what are you gonna do without your car?
Yeah, it's all made with shitty GM parts anyway. We'll find more parts.
Yep.
Yeah. Alright,
Anyways.
so there you go. There's that. Alrighty then, and now on to... I don't know why I didn't push on, but it's triggering. Oh, yes, I was going to say it. I was going to see if this is here. So we talk about this. Bill Cosby found guilty of sexual assault in retrial. They're going to the most popular thing. Their Carson.
There's Lane. I think it's Cruz.
His
You didn't write
crush,
your Cruz is good.
his crush is trash. I tried to fit in that bitch, and it was terrible. Subarus are decent. Is that fucking?
Is that John?
John? I think it's John.
Is that John? I mean, he's talking about Subarus, and that's the only person I know who does.
Well, I know a kid that talks about Subarus. He's in Colorado, where Subarus actually matter and they're useful.
Its name is Ted.
Anyway, U.S. comedian Bill Cosby was found guilty of 3 counts of sexual assault, each of which carries a potential 10 years in prison. All the Bill Cosby fucking memes are coming to roll in again.
Yeah.
The actor, who's 80, has been on trial for drugging and assaulting ex-basketball player Andrea Constant in 2004. Oh, I didn't know he actually, did something with somebody, semi-important. I guess it's the WNBA. When is that ever important?
Well, no, it's not that it was somebody important. It's that the statute of limitation hadn't run out. That's why all of his accusers couldn't actually bring a case forward outside of a civil court case, because the statute of limitation passed long ago. But I do love the comment.
He unleashed an expletive-filled rant after the verdict. As prosecutors argued he should be denied bail. The prosecutor argued that he should have been held because he is somebody who has unlimited wealth and could flee on a private plane. Wow. He doesn't have a plane. Cosby then erupted, adding vulgarity which he directed at the prosecutor.
I love the quote from the comment from the latest chat. I don't think I would admit to driving a Ted Cruz.
It's okay. John still loves Kenneth Nichols. Anyway, it was the second time the actor stood trial for the allegations after an early jury failed to reach a verdict in June 2017. At the start of the retrial in Pennsylvania, it was revealed that Crosby had paid Miss Constant almost $3.4 million in a civil settlement in 2006. Wow! Yeah. That's a lot of money, and she's still going at the guy.
I mean, that was civil. This is criminal now.
I know, but that's a lot of fucking money. Holy shit, why don't you just take that and run? Because God knows you're probably useless and not doing anything else or making anything really about that. You don't want to talk about Kenneth need for pasties? No. Not in particular.
I will kick you from this chat.
Around 60 women over the 5 decades have publicly accused the Emmy Award-winning actor of being a sexual predator. The statute of limitation laws mean only one charge has been brought to trial. Montgomery County District Attorney Kevin Steele, who brought the charges against Crosby, held a press conference after the verdict. Money and power, or who you are, will not stop us from the criminal investigation and prosecuting the case.
That's good to hear.
As Miss Constance stood beside him. I don't believe that for a fucking second, because I know the world knows no better. But
I mean, that's true, but still, at least this district attorney is just like, nah, fuck it. Money and power ain't gonna stop me.
I don't give a fuck what you do. This isn't gonna work this way with me. When the attack took place, Wisconsin was working as director of operations for the women's basketball team at Temple University in Philadelphia. She was in the play. Okay. She's in the She told the court she had gone to the home of her then friend Cosby to discuss her resignation. She said he had given her 3 blue pills to help take the edge off, which she believed to be a natural remedy. Hold on, what?
Yeah.
What? To fucking 3 blue pills. Why would it be a natural remedy if it's pills, yo? That's...
Well, because there are pills that have natural remedies, like an aspirin is just a refined form of,
Yeah, but it's a chemical compound. It's not a...
No, it is. I mean, aspirin comes from the chemical compound found in the willow bark.
Yes, but it's...
So, I mean, it's just refined in that. It's just refined. It's still natural. It's
made in a lab. You know what's funny? Whenever you look a certain way, like, because one of your eyes goes away, you look all crazy-eyed. It's beautiful. You look like your eyes are wrong, and I love it. Also, worst that happens is he goes to resort jail. I mean,
probably so.
The man's fucking 80. It doesn't matter. He's gonna die soon anyway.
Yeah, depending on how much time he gets. The thing is, once you get to a certain age, and medical conditions, they just put you in the medical ward.
Yeah. No, you're right. They'll keep you alive. That's the great thing about our prison system. It's so fucked up. You get 3 meals a day, and they will keep your ass alive.
Well, they have a legal obligation to take care of you.
Yeah.
Whether they do a good job of it or not, it's a different story. Anyways,
right. So
this is the story that's been making its rounds. So, student whose prom proposal sparked racial backlash will not attend prom. So, a Florida high school student whose prom proposal sparked online outrage and racial backlash will not attend prom, according to a statement from his family's lawyer. Noah Crowley, a senior at Riverview High School, posted a photo of himself holding a sign, and we're going to go to the sign here. I'll wait for it to load in my screen. I assume you're showing the picture?
Yes, totally showing the picture.
Okay. So it says right here, so he says, if I was black, I'd be picking cotton, but I'm white, so I'm picking you for prom.
I wasn't going to show the picture because it was funny but I did. It looks ultra stretched because of the way the fucking thing...
It really does. It looks terrible. Whatever. It's good enough.
Yes.
Oh. There we go. Yep. So that's the picture there that got him in trouble. The thing is, that worked because the girl who he sent it to agreed to go to prom with him.
Yeah, I mean, it's racially insensitive, but, I mean, it's still kind of like, I don't know, it's still kind of, funny and shit. Maybe,
I mean, there are better ways to do it.
Maybe if he did it in a better way, yeah. But like, still.
Because I mean, he could have gone a billion different ways about this. I mean, but he decided to go racist black picking cotton.
I mean, I don't know if I could say that's racist. It's historically
No, that's
accurate,
kind of racist.
But it's historically accurate.
Not really. There's not much historical context. I mean,
there's not much historical context of fucking black people being owned as slaves for centuries for a long time and just picking cotton. Are you kidding me?
Let me finish.
No. Also, it's weird though. It would make sense if it was in the South or not.
Well, Florida is in the South.
Well, I mean the real South. Florida's just the United States. There's no cotton there.
Well,
it's all swamp.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, there is a lot of historical context for black people picking cotton. But I mean, it's clearly what he's referring to. But I mean, he's saying that that he's not black, say he's not picking cotton, but he's picking this girl. So there's clearly racist connotation.
I guess I don't know. Personally, I don't give a shit about
I know you don't give a shit, but you gotta understand that. You gotta recognize the context of it.
Nope. I don't have to give a shit. So, like, everything's good up in me.
Useless.
It's great being me.
Anyway, in
I
a statement
know.
provided to NBC News, Crowley's parents said their son will not attend any future school activities or functions, including prom or graduation.
Hey man, listen. So on the racial note, I'm trying my hardest to not be ultra insensitive at work. Oh my god. It's so hard. Especially when you get a call from an Asian dude that's in help desk and you can't understand a fucking word he's saying. And I'm like, yo,
You're like, slow down. What are you saying?
Oh, it's not even that. His accent's too thick. I can't understand it.
Hold up, let me bust out my Asian to English dictionary.
It's actually my English to English dictionary.
Oh god.
It's fucking... it's pretty bad. Yeah.
Anyways, back to the story. The statement says the decision was made after several conversations as a family and additional discussions with Riverview High School administrators. Crowley, 18, also faces potential discipline from his school, according to officials. Fellow Riverview senior Aaron Williams shared Crowley's post on Facebook, and it quickly went viral. The specific reference to picking cotton sparked outrage and accusations of racism on social media. I love this because here's a statement from the school district. So neither the school district nor Riverview High School condones or supports the message conveyed in the post, because we all believe that. Of course, this student who's posting this thing, of course, the school district believes whatever the student says. Obviously, that's how this works, right?
They have to, it's the good old CYA. They just want to make sure.
I know, but I mean, it's just a bit ridiculous.
Yeah, it is a bit ridiculous. I like what Sean was saying. It just depends on who Trump doesn't ask for text messages. What happens if the dude types in English? Because I've seen that already too, and I'm like, how? I'm just like, dear God, why?
It's no, like, I'm like, who this?
Dude, literally. And then like, in some of the wiki stuff with some SOPs and things I'm reading through, like, I'm finding glaring grammar mistakes, and my fucking eyes just start twitching. I'm like, I'm like, this is the published wiki of what I'm supposed to follow. I don't understand.
You follow that shit to the letter.
I don't know.
To the letter!
What it's telling you to do.
Anyways, so the school, and of course now, the school district is working with local and national civic leaders, including the NAACP, to develop a roundtable forum to discuss issues of race, not just at Riverview, but district-wide. Crowley then posted an apology on social media over the weekend, saying the post was a complete joke and it went too far. After reading texts and Snapchats, I truly see how I have offended people, and I'm sorry.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Goddamn millennials.
Yeah. So many good pictures. Oh, there's a picture of Tokyo.
Anyways. Next.
Yeah. Anyway. U.S. must keep DACA and accept new applications, federal judge rules. Good shit. And the biggest setback yet for Trump administration is the attempt to end a program that shields some undocumented young adults from deportation. A federal judge ruled Tuesday that the protections must stay in place and the government must resume accepting new applications. Judge John D. Bates of Federal District Court for the District of Columbia said that the administration's decision to terminate the program, Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, or DACA, was based on the virtually unexplained grounds that the program was unlawful, which is accurate. The judge stayed his decision for 90 days and gave the Department of Homeland Security, which administers the program, the opportunity to better explain its reasoning for canceling it. If the department fails to do so, it must accept and process new as well as renewal DACA applications, Judge Bates said in the decision. The ruling was the third in recent months against the Trump administration's rollback of DACA. Federal judges in Brooklyn and San Francisco each issued injunctions ordering the program remain in place. Okay, get it. Judge Bates, who was nominated by President George W. Bush in 2001, described the Trump administration's decisions to pay that DACAs as arbitrary and capricious because the department failed adequately to explain its conclusion that the program was unlawful.
I love that. They're just like, yeah, we're going to close this program. Okay, why are you closing it? Because it's illegal. Why is it illegal?
Because fake news. Haha.
You're fake news. This judge needs to go. He's an Obama appointee, even though he's appointed by Bush. He needs to go.
Bush. Yeah. Okay, you butchered the shit out of that.
I did.
Anyway,
I was going to say George Bush, so it just kind of crashed together.
Yeah. About 700,000 of the young undocumented immigrants, known as Dreamers, have signed up but must renew their DACA status every 2 years. The program also gives them the opportunity to work legally in the United States. Immigrants must be 15 years old to apply.
Yeah, and basically DACA just lowers the deportation priority, so that way ICE focuses on high priority, people to deport, like criminals and such.
Where's this video at?
It should be right there at the top of the article.
Okay, Alright, cool. I'm just gonna roll this video about a local thing, local to me in Dallas. Did you find the other shooting thing? The IKEA one? That one I think is better, I'm not sure.
I didn't.
Oh, okay. But anyway, yes, there was a shooting. Dallas police officer dies after Home Depot shooting, officials say. So, alright, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna swap over here.
Dallas police officer died this morning. One of 2 officers shot yesterday at a Home Depot along with a store security guard. 25 officers have been gunned down this year in the line of duty. At this time last year, it was 14. And the rising toll has some who wear the badge feeling like they're wearing a target. Here's Omar Villafranca.
27-year-old Rogelio Santander, a 3-year veteran of the Dallas Police Department, was shot Tuesday afternoon when officers tried to arrest 29-year-old Armando Juarez on an outstanding warrant. Police say Juarez shot Santander, his partner Crystal Almeida, and a Home Depot loss prevention officer. Both of them are still in critical condition.
That poor loss prevention officer. He doesn't get paid enough for this shit.
We're just asking for your support during this time.
After a frantic 5-hour manhunt and car chase, cops finally caught him. Juarez is now sitting in jail. The shooting happened almost 2 years after 5 police officers were killed in an ambush-style attack in downtown Dallas. Last night, Dallas Mayor Mike Rawlings questioned
so that's where that happened.
Man, Dallas is fucking lit. I'm glad to be here.
the community's relationship with his department.
Yeah, this mayor's comments annoy me.
Continue to be upset at the lack of respect of our police.
I just want to point out, look at this man's. Damn it, too bad this isn't possible. This man is like all neck. There is no
it's
head.
Just neck to head.
His neck is his fucking head.
There's
no transition
in our country.
Rawlings explained his comments today.
Whether it's in the media or talking to young people, that police are
talking to young people.
Here to be disregarded day in and day out.
He says it will be harder to recruit good officers like Santander and Almeida.
I see these officers, 2 officers, been in the force for 3 years. Those are the type that we need more and more.
Officer Crystal Almeida is still in critical condition, but the mayor says she gave her family a thumbs up today at the hospital. No court date has been set for Juarez.
But I must
want
say,
to point out this dude's jacket. This dude has so many fucking zippers and pockets. The fuck does this man need this jacket? Does he have like guns or like equipment in there? I've never seen a jacket with that many fucking zippers.
It's a lot of pockets.
I need that in my life. I love that. Well, he's even got a Velcro patch area
It's striking to see those flowers on the patrol car behind you, Omar. Thank you.
Weird. Anyway, but there you go. There's that story. So,
yeah, but like I said, I think the mayor's comments were rather out of touch.
It seemed like he was just kind of didn't really give a shit and kind of just pointing things at people and being a dick.
Basically, trying to blame.
He was being an old fuck, is what it looked like.
Next up, the hard statistics on police being killed versus police killing unarmed, non-threatening folks. Yeah, there's going to be a lot more people being killed with who are unarmed than cops ever killed.
That's actually interesting.
And the thing is, I mean,
25 already this year. Yeah, I guess I'm assuming this is Dallas, or is that fucking like?
I think that's
US
national.
level? Is it?
It'd have to be national. Cops don't die that often.
Really? In some cases, that's depressing. Anyway. I don't condone police violence, but in certain times, I totally condone killing innocents.
Now, this next story we're covering in tech news is just a bit ridiculous, for sure. Not just a bit ridiculous, extremely ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
So, an e-waste activist gets 15 months in prison for selling Windows restore disks. So, says that's here, a California man's heading for a 15-month stay in a federal prison over restore CDs, disks that reinstall Windows operating system after a failure, after a ruling 2 weeks ago by the Federal Appeals Court. So, like, people in this chat, you're work tech professionals. But for those who don't know, so a Windows restore disk, which pretty much comes from with every computer you get, basically just reinstalls Windows if you have a valid license. It's not that difficult. Hell, Microsoft gives the shit away for free. But a lot of people don't know that, or don't know what they need, kind of deal. Yes, basically Microsoft bought the result they wanted. Pretty much, yeah. So in 2017 trial in the federal district court, Eric Lundgren, 33, was found to have infringed on Microsoft's intellectual property by $700,000 for ordering and importing the restore disks, which a witness told the court were nearly worthless, which they are. Their worth is in pretty much just the CD value itself. Lundgren, an activist whose cause is e-waste, for throwing out otherwise usable technology, saw the disks as a way to keep consumers from tossing old computers when they believed them to be broken. Such disks may only, and let me stress this, may only be used in computers that already have a license for Windows. Lundgren observed many users, when confronted with a system failure, would simply opt to buy a new one rather than hunt for a disk or go through the laborious process of a system restore. That doesn't surprise me. People are like, it slowed down, it stopped working, throw it out, get a new one. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
But look at this. Lundgren had 28,000 of these disks made and shipped to Florida, where he and a broker planned to sell them to computer repair shops for about, it says 25 cents here, it's actually $4. This way, the shops wouldn't have to make restore disks themselves. Now, realistically, the shops should probably have these disks on hand just to every freaking where.
I mean, really, you only need two
Yeah,
for each,
pretty much.
setup or whatever.
Or you can make more copies, not that hard.
Pretty much.
Basically, if they don't have it, they should have had it, and they can make it themselves. So I don't really get where the profit motive was coming. And maybe he was going to sell it to normal people. But it said here he's selling it to shops. Anyways, this somehow drew the attention of U.S. Customs agent who seized the shipment of the disks and then got the Florida broker to flip on Lundgren, catching him in a conspiracy where all of the $3,400 was transacted. Both got indicted on the charge of conspiracy to traffic counterfeit goods and a criminal copyright infringement, which is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
The Washington Post, in its account, notes that neither Microsoft nor any other computer manufacturer sell any restore disks.
That is
because they give them away.
Well,
so
yes
they're not wrong. They don't sell.
Actually, Dell sells restore disks.
Do they?
Yeah, you can.
Because I mean,
if
in all the Dells that we
one,
buy, in all the Dells we buy, they include either a USB or an actual disc.
Yes, but in the actual consumer versions of Dells and most other manufacturers, they have a restore partition. But if that doesn't work, they don't usually send you media. You have to you have to buy them from them sometimes.
Or you can just download them from Microsoft.
Yeah. But I'm saying is that you call them because I've had that happen in the past. Where they're like, "Fuck, sucks to be you. Buy our restore disk." I'm like, "Huh, sucks to be you. I'm wiping my hard drive and just reinstalling Windows. You piece of shit."
I guess Dell's kind of shitty on that, because like when I had an issue with my HP,
well, it wasn't only Dell.
When I called, well, no, because when I called HP and I had a problem many years ago, they sent me restore discs, like 5 of them. It was that old.
Yeah, no. And I'm talking about like I guess the past, because but see back then Dell included like the 20 discs for everything that it had on there.
Yeah.
The Dell restore disc. But yeah, no, for most of the time, when you order like straight from Dell brand new, you get restore media, especially if you're a business, you do. And then, just like in the instance of school, it fucking clutters up everything and takes up space because there's too many of them.
Well, I mean, we just trash most of them. And the thing is, they're non-rewritables.
Yeah, I know. I remember we were trying to fuck around with the USB flash drives.
I'm sure I could if I took it into Ubuntu or Linux or something. Yeah.
Fucking just toss them to me and I'll turn them all into Red Hat at work. Everything is Red Hat.
Anyway, so Lundgren argued that he was making the discs available only to those who had a license for Windows software. Which is true, because they don't work if you don't have one.
Yeah, you also, for some of the restore discs, you have to have the specific version. I remember I've been in that issue many times, so it's like, you don't have the right version for this disc. I'm like, you know, fuck you. Just work
Yeah, that's also true. So the government lawyers valued the discs at $300 a piece.
Are you fucking shitting me?
Yeah, in an indictment stating that Lundgren cost Microsoft $8.3 million.
There's no fucking way.
Well, it's government lawyers. They're not the smartest bunch.
I guess, but can they be that dumb?
Yes, they can. So Microsoft's lawyer argued that the court that the sale of the discs displaced Microsoft's potential sale of genuine operating systems, while ignoring the fact that, again, these discs are inoperable without an existing license paid for or granted by the company. Microsoft straight up lied in federal court. And they even brought in an expert witness. So an expert witness testified that there was zero or near zero monetary value of any of the discs, and that they are mainly used as a convenience to users or maintenance technicians.
Hey, Lane, I got a kitty.
And even despite that, senior U.S. District Judge Daniel K.T. Hurley of the United States District Court of the Southern District of Florida, so of course, fucking Florida, appointed by the Clinton administration in '94, so he's been on there for fucking ever, had said these discs had a value of $700,000. And that qualified Lundgren for 15 months in the joint and a $50,000 fine, which Hurley handed to him after saying some nice things about his sentencing. Oh, so fucking magnanimous. Only 15 months after saying that this charge is $700,000 worth of, shit. Oh, my God. So generous. So generous.
Yeah.
This is just outrageous.
No, it's fucking dumb. Like I said, I fucking just read down to it.
And it's unfortunate that he's not going to fight it. But I mean, it's basically Microsoft has just, bought and sold, the justice system.
Thank you for the follow, Jess Gonigan. JK, but whatever. Yeah, just Gonigan, JK. Hey,
just JK. Gonigan.
Yeah, you just gotta better than anything.
Pretty
much trying to escape. The cat can't escape.
Yep. Anyways.
Anyway. So, on to the next story. But shit. I had it. Belgium declares loot boxes gambling and therefore illegal. Haha! The Belgian Gaming Commission looked at Star Wars Battlefront 2, FIFA 18, Overwatch, and Counter-Strike Global Offensive, and found only Star Wars was not in violation of the country's gambling legislation. And that's only because EA stripped out the game's loot boxes after its launch debacle. So this is going to say that even free loot boxes are...
Well, no, because like CSGO's loot boxes, you have to buy them.
No. CSGO, you don't have to buy them. You have to buy the fucking
You have to buy the damn keys.
You have to buy the fucking keys. Overwatch, you don't have to buy the keys. Overwatch is okay to just get from playing. So then, unless they made someone, because everybody else is like,
I mean,
buy
it wouldn't
these keys.
surprise me if they did.
It wouldn't surprise me if they just did what everybody else is doing because everyone else is assholes. These dildos. I mean, I don't know. Ask Josh about fucking FIFA.
Yeah.
Anyway, so statement from the Minister of Justice Cohen Deans said FIFA 18, Overwatch, and CSGO were therefore illegal and demanded their loot boxes removed. If they're not, the publishers risk a prison sentence of up to 5 years and a fine of up to 80,000 euros. When minors, 800,000 euros when minors are involved. Those punishments can be doubled. Ooh.
Like, who goes to prison?
I don't know.
Do they take the executive, the leadership? Does
No,
everybody go to prison?
So the poor sap, like, that's just fucking working.
The one guy in marketing, he's the one who came up with it. Send him to prison.
One of the guys in that country was some guy. Listen, you have the lowest pay. You go to prison. Goodbye. Anyway, no, it'd be great if they could like a full member of like C-level management though. Belgium expressed a particular concern about the impact loot boxes have on young people. It's often children who come into contact with such systems, and we cannot allow that, Deans warned. Yeah, no, it's just like, that's why I put it spun it like that. So what happens next? Geen wants a dialogue with video game publishers and developers to work out who's responsible for the removal of loot boxes. Whatever the outcome of those talks, it's clear Geen's business. We have already taken numerous measures to protect both minors and adults against the influence of, among other things, gambling advertising, he said. Holy shit, you have to protect your adults from advertising? I thought America was full of fucking idiots. But here it's just legal to fuck everybody.
I mean, it's glad a country actually cares to protect its citizens.
I know, it's like there is an FTC or something. Anyway, there is yet another dramatic turn for video game loot box issue, and a sign that in Europe at least, publishers may be forced to change the way their games work.
Well, in response to the comment there...
PUBG was okay before they had the, now you have to pay to unlock loot boxes.
Well, it's PUBG.
That is some incredibly inappropriate something like that.
Anyways, so in response to your comment there, this is Belgium, so I'm sure everybody gets paid very well, and of course they get healthcare and education and childcare benefits and shit. I'm sure they treat people actually very well. They actually care about their citizens, like most European nations.
And also, the sudden rock out was not inappropriate. It's fully appropriate. It's the follow alert. So, alright.
Anyways, so this is bad news here. So, Mignon Clyburn, a fierce defender of net neutrality, is leaving the FCC. FCC Commissioner Mignon Clyburn, a passionate advocate for protecting net neutrality, announced plans on Tuesday to step down from the agency. The daughter of Representative James Clyburn, the third-ranking Democrat in the House, Clyburn's tenure at the FCC was largely spent advocating on behalf of America's poor, championing for example, the Lifeline program, which promotes universal access to broadband and mobile services for economically strapped citizens. This is actually a fantastic program, which, Ajit Pai recently cut quite dramatically. And it's going to limit services across the board for people who rely upon these programs for just basic telephones. Yeah, it is. Yeah. So nominated by President Barack Obama in 2009, Clyburn became one of the most outspoken proponents for net neutrality, calling the FCC's recent decision to repeal the 2015 rules that ensured net neutrality a significant attack on internet freedom. Quite right. During her time at the agency, she strenuously fought against the high cost of phone calls for prison inmates, noting that once the 2.7 million children in this country with at least one incarcerated parent which is quite true. And the costs for fucking prisons are ridiculous. Like a single, like per minute, prison calls are like $5 a minute.
Oh, they really?
Oh yeah, they're crazy. $5, $10. I've heard of calls being $15 a minute. Like it's none of this, you get your calling card 10 cents a minute bullshit. Nah. No, they make you pay. There's no reason for it. They could be 10 cents a minute.
It could probably be fucking like zero because the government already gets plenty of money off of already shitty phone service.
No. They gotta make these prisoners pay something. That's
they already make them pay with their life and their fucking almost free labor.
And with their slave labor and with the commissary and all this shit. Yes. No, I mean totally. I'd want these calls to be free too because
now that I have fucking internet, we can play a way out again and do it live. Yes. Even though
they're criminals. They don't deserve phone calls or rights or food. Think of the children. Won't somebody think of the children?
Yeah.
So, Mignon Clyburn will go down in history as one of the best FCC commissioners of all time, said Gigi Son, who was counselor to former FCC chairman Tom Wheeler. For nearly 9 years, she has been a vocal and passionate advocate for the public interest and defender of the most vulnerable in our society. It is a sad day to see her leave the FCC, and I hope she gets replaced by somebody half as good.
Oh, that's a good joke.
I think in the FCC, they have to have at least 2 of the opposing party. So I believe the Democrats actually do get to, put somebody into office there. Oh, I love this next story. This is just great.
Anyway,
Marshall
cowboy
Blackburn
hat helps thwart armed robbery at Monterey.
Roll the video. This is fantastic. And the video has no audio, just for your own benefit.
I can't hear anything!
Pretty much. Let me know when you start it up.
Starting it up.
So I just love this. So
this is very Texas.
It's actually Mexico.
I know.
So you see, there's the guy, he walks in, he pulls the gun, and look at this. This guy in the cowboy hat just looks over.
He's got a fucking mustache, like
he does. He does. Look at it. He pulled off his sunglasses.
Yeah,
he pulled off his sunglasses.
You don't want to do that shit.
You're just like you saw that shit. Once he pulled off his glasses, it was done. He was gonna go get this fool.
Oh, is that just trying to stab him? What if he pulled a knife?
I don't know. But then the butcher came out.
The deli worker came out and grabbed the gun.
Look at that. Oh, damn.
Oh, with the fucking just grabbed to the throat. That dude just fucking, gave that boy the hand. Just fucking reached and grabbed him. That was beautiful. And now I felt this.
Pretty much. This is just great.
I love the fucking just... Get over here! Hold on. Actually, we're gonna go back. We're gonna watch that one more time because that's fucking great. That right here. Ooh, fucking. That's the grip of a man that handles meat all day.
I love how, cause the butcher just slides into scene and then just catches him.
Yep. That's the grip of somebody that handles me and chokes me. Thank you, General Pepper 74 for the best.
Yeah, but this is just fantastic. And butchers do heavy physical work. They are not weak men. I mean, as we've said, they handle just pounds of meat.
Pounds of meat, yeah.
All day.
Yes. Apparently, it's Kenneth's favorite obsession is handling pounds of meat all day. You heard it here first, folks.
I'm not a butcher, folks.
You saw the way he took it, though. The way he said that. He sounded like you're really interested in that meat. Just get to the meat of the situation.
No, you're getting to the meat of the situation. I get it.
No. Not as meaty as John is.
Anyways, this next story is just fucking ridiculous.
Apparently, dogs cannot get autism. British Veterinary Association warns after anti-vax movement spread to pets.
Yes, folks, don't worry. Your pets can't get autism. Your children might, but your pets can't.
As I stare at my cat. I actually, anyway. So, dogs cannot get autism. The British Veterinary Association warned after anti-vaxxers believe that immunizations have harmful side effects and may be the cause of autism in children. Beliefs widely debunked by the medical community. This theory
Everybody's debunked it.
Increasingly, I wouldn't say everybody, because there are people who say otherwise still. Anyway,
no, there's not. There's nobody,
to pets, particularly in the U.S., and there are useful theories
fucking reputable who says that vaccines cause autism. Nobody.
The FDA said we are aware of an increase in anti-vaccination pet owners. It's so weird. In the U.S., who have voiced concerns that vaccinations may lead to dogs developing autism-like behavior. But there is currently no scientific evidence to suggest autism in dogs or a link between vaccination and autism. Yeah, there's definitely
that's correct.
There's definitely nothing about autism in dogs. Like, oh no, my dog has the tism. Like, no, your dog's fucking retarded.
Has ever dealt with a whippet breed? I don't know what that is. Sounds funny.
I don't know. Fucking John. Scary. Anyway, all medicines have potential side effects, but in the case of vaccines, these are rare, and the benefits of vaccination in protecting against disease far outweigh the potential for an adverse reaction. Senior Vice President Gudrun Ravitz added, vaccinations save lives and are an important tool in keeping our pets healthy. The comments came after ITV breakfast show Good Morning Britain, we're looking to speak to pet owners who haven't given their pets vaccinations because they're concerned about the side effects, as well as people who have done so and now believe their pet has canine autism as a result. Pet vaccination rates in the UK are already falling. The PDSA Animal Well-Being, they have an actual report, in 2017 showed that 25% of dogs and 35% of cats and 50% of rabbits had not had a primary vaccination course when young, up on previous years. I mean, my cat was supposed to get
quite a large amount.
My cat was supposed to get the feline flu shot, but I didn't.
You should probably get her that whenever you check.
No, the doctor was saying I should have got it at some point. But
I mean, there's still time.
No. It was like back whenever it was last year, whenever I went and saw the vet for her. She was sick. It's fucking.
Well, is she up to date on all her shots?
The only thing she's probably not going to be up to date on soon here is for, that biggest one that everybody only gives a shit about rabies. That needs to be done. That's about it. That's the only, and that's only to stay really in compliance with fucking, apartments and stuff. Because realistically, she's not going to be exposed to anything. She's going to go outside. So.
Okay, have a good one, man.
How's it easy getting off? Yep, have a good night, my friendito. And we will sleep soon here. We're at the...
Yeah, this is the last story, actually.
Yep.
So, U.S. Environmental Agency proposes limits to science used in rulemaking.
Oh,
so, science is not our science, it's fake science.
Who's the head of the EPA?
Scott Pruitt, the man who repeatedly sued the EPA to try and stop them. So, the U.S. EPA proposed a rule on Tuesday that would limit the kinds of scientific research that it can use in crafting regulations, an apparent concession to big business that has long requested such restriction. Under the new proposals, the EPA will no longer be able to rely on scientific research that is underpinned by confidential medical or industry data. The measure was billed by the EPA Administrator Scott Pruitt as a way to boost transparency for the benefit of the industries that his agency regulates. But scientists and former EPA officials worry that it will hamstring the agency's ability to protect public health by putting key data off limits. The EPA for decades has relied on scientific research that is rooted in confidential medical and industry data as a basis for its air, water, and chemical rules. While it publishes enormous amounts of research and data to the public, the confidential material is held back. Which makes sense, it's confidential. Obviously, you can't just show it. The new policy would be based on proposed legislation spearheaded by the chairman of the House of Representatives Science Committee, Lamar Smith, a Republican who rejects mainstream climate change science. As in just general all science, by the sounds of it. He probably is the kind of person who believes if you told him that science has agreed that gravity exists, he'd be like, gravity doesn't exist, I'm going to walk off this mountain.
Good. Fucking do it.
I have. Do it. But a letter signed by 985 scientists on Monday said the proposal would greatly weaken the agency's ability to consider all scientific information needed to form rules and implored Pruitt not to go through with the restrictions. I mean, he's going to do it anyway.
Yeah,
his entire job there is to destroy the organization.
Literally reducing the science that the EPA uses to operate is basically like making EPA useless. Which the EPA, they're not super useless because they find the shit out of everybody, but they're still already pretty useless because a lot of people they find are oil companies.
I mean, in the past year and a half alone, they have dramatically reduced the amount of companies they find and investigate. I mean, the EPA's pretty much doing next to nothing at this point compared to what they were doing just 2 and 3 years ago. Because Scott Pruitt went in there and basically tied all their hands together and locked them in their rooms. Anyways, folks, this is the end of our show, however.
Yes, thank you from Kenneth over there at the Shitty City office and me over here from the Dallas office. And we will be signing off for this for tonight. But as you said, thank you guys for joining us.
And check us out again next week where we continue our weekly news and review. You can also check out this channel here on Tuesday evenings at 7:30 p.m. CST for the Anime Talk Show, where they talk about the weekly anime seasonals and give a brief review on a wide variety of animes. The breadth and depth of the animes they cover is very extensive, and I would definitely suggest checking it out. Every other week, they also bring on a special guest. What's next week's show? Is that a guest show?
Next week's show is the regular standard
seasonal review.
The regular seasonal review show, yes.
I
have a lot of catching up to do.
He has a job now, so he has a lot of catching up to do.
I have 2 jobs. I run Twitch and that show and this show, and then I have fucking the real job, yes.
Yep.
Great. I'm gonna have to pay somebody else to watch anime from this in here.
And then just cliff notes it?
No, not really. Okay. I like anime anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Although, but like, getting invited out, every so often now is maybe gonna be bad. But I also want to have time to play Battletech. Oh yes, also join me as I play Battletech at random days whenever I get a chance to, and we'll probably be playing some games. We'll maybe have a stream this weekend for the community game night if we get that done rolling, which we should. As well as, like you said, Tuesdays are that, and Thursdays are the News Talk Show at between 8 and 8:30 p.m. CST.
No, it's closer to 7:30 to 8.
So we're gonna go with 8 now? You're gonna set that in stone?
Yes.
You want to do that now? All right.
Because I don't have to go to your house and wait for you to set up.
8 p.m. CST. Well, a lot of the times I was waiting for you to get over to my house.
You were never set up when I went over there. Ever.
Yeah, no.
When I got there, you set
because
up.
I would have to wait for you to get there, and you usually didn't get there until after.
Yeah, but we could have sped up this process if you set up ahead of time.
Nah, it's fine. Plus, I couldn't do anything. I would just have to sit there and wait for you to take everything over. Why would I want to do that? It's fine. But anyway, again, thank you all for joining us. Have a good night, everybody.